Hello everyone, we are Team Basic and we are here to talk about a case study that we recently analyzed. Let me walk you through the agenda of this presentation. We are going to give you a background about the case study, the dataset that was used for the case study, and the models that we built which could be further used. In the recent past, most companies have been complaining about high attrition rates. Attrition, in a broader sense, is the number of employees leaving the company over a period of time. Why is attrition an issue for companies? Most companies have project allocations that are very dynamic. There are scalable departments and teams that are required. This not only affects business operations within the company, but also impacts the company's image. We analyzed a case study which would help in addressing these issues. The dataset that we've used for this case study is from Kaggle, representing employee information for the company. This company, XYZ company, has around 4,500 employees and over the past year has faced a 15% attrition rate, which is pretty high. The outcome of this case study was that we were able to understand the factors that impact attrition. The management and HR of the company could use this input to curb attrition. Let's look at what we have in the data. So we have 5 data sets here. The first data set is the employee data set, which contains personal data of the employees, the education details, the history of how long the employee has been with the company, his job role, his job involvement levels, and also his salary details. The next is the in-time and out-time data for these employees, which basically consists of the entry and exit times over a period of 1 year. The other 2 data sets are employee survey and manager survey data sets. So employee survey data sets has values about the environment satisfaction, job satisfaction, and work-life balance that the employee has provided. And the manager survey has information about the job involvement of each employee and his performance rating. I'd now like to call upon my colleague Medha to take over.
We did a lot of exploratory data analysis in order to find the impact of individual features on the employee attrition rate. We made a lot of plots such as bar graphs and density plots. It gave us an idea about some variables being impactful on the variable to be predicted. Let me walk you through some of the selected ones. In the plot of job involvement, we can see that at level 3, maximum number of people are staying and leaving the job, and this trend continues for the job level 4. In the plot of person salary hike, we can see that as the person salary hike increases, lesser number of people are leaving the job, which might lead to lesser attrition rate. In the plot of total working years, we can see that as the total number of working years increases at the company, lesser number of people are leaving the job, which might lead to lesser attrition rate. Coming to the density plots, we can see that as the number of years in a company increases, lesser number of employees leave the job, which might lead to less attrition rate. In case of job satisfaction, we can see that as the level of job satisfaction increases, lesser number of employees in the company leave the job. Whereas in case of job level, we can see that level might not impact the employee attrition rate at all. Now, I would ask my colleague to further explain the rest of the processes that we did.
Hello everyone, I'm going to run you through our data pre-processing steps. We have considered all the features for this process. From exploratory data analysis, we found out that the data contain a lot of missing values. So we imputed all the missing values through synthetic imputation using the mice library. 5 files were available for this project. 2 of them only contained in and out time of employees for a certain time period. We derived the average work time of employees and the number of leaves taken by each employee for that time period. We then merged all the 5 data sets into a single data set. The data set contained a lot of categorical features like education level, marital status. We created dummy variables for all these categorical variables and removed the linear combinations that arise due to the creation of these dummy variables. Multicollinearity can severely impact a model accuracy, and we removed all the input variables that were associated or highly correlated. There were certain features which had near zero variation. For instance, a categorical column called over 18 years had the value 1 for all the observations. We removed all those columns that had near zero variations, as they might not contribute to our model accuracy. Finally, we normalized our data set by scaling it using a min-max scaler. Now, my teammate Shubham will take it over from me.
Now, after pre-processing, we will look forward to use our standardized features to predict attrition in company. We are using create partition function in Caret to split our dataset into 70% train and 30% test. And using train control, we are creating k-fold cross-validation design. In our analysis, we use different classification techniques. We first started off with logistic regression, then we tried neural network, and finally we had our best model as XGBoost. Using XGBoost package in R, we hyper-tuned our model for different maximum depths, ETA, end rounds, and call samples. From the pool of different models, we got our optimal model with end round equal to 200, maximum depth as 20, and ETA as 0.1. For this model, we had our train accuracy as 100% and accuracy on test data as 98%. Using this model, we identified what are the most important features causing attrition. Our final selected model can be used to distinguish which employees has higher propensity to attrite. And this information can be pivotal for company to control their workforce and to ascertain which employees to give promotions. As my colleague Tanya discussed the negative impacts of attrition, our model helps the stakeholders to first know the factors responsible for the attrition and then allows them to work on them, hence improving their workplace and control attrition. Finally, using DSS, company can improve their decisioning in terms of project allocation or promotion of employees. In our analysis, we have used R as it is an open source language which is easy to implement for complex data wrangling and analysis techniques. Additionally, specificity of libraries makes it perfect choice for data science project. Now Agraj will explain the functionality of DSS.
As my colleagues already told you, after analyzing the entire data that was given to us, we came up with a model. This model was used to predict the attrition rate of a particular employee for a given company. However, it will be very difficult for HR managers to run such a complicated model. In order to solve this, we came up with the R-Shiny dashboard that they could easily use at the front end to predict whether a person will stay in the company or not. It will also give them an overview of the entire workforce for the company. The user face is friendly, it is scalable, and it does have multi-level utilities that can be added on into the future. Let me quickly walk you through the interface that we created to analyze this particular problem. So this is the Analytics for Workforce app that we created for the HR managers. It has two tabs. The first tab, which analyzes the current workforce trends, and the second one, which is used to check the attrition probability of a given employee. Let me walk you through the first tab. In this tab, an HR manager can select the various criteria on which we can group by the data of the company and show the current trends. Let's say job satisfaction. Once we click on it, we can see that there is a density plot that comes up. It is based on the job satisfaction ratings that the employees filled up in a survey. We can see that the employees with the highest ratings would probably have the lowest chance of attrition. Now let me quickly walk you through the second tab of the app. Over here we can select the various parameters such as education levels, job involvement levels, performance rating, work-life balance, gender, marital status, age, and percentage hike. After feeding in these parameters, once we click predict, it will give us a probability of attrition for a given employee. For instance, if we enter the education level as bachelor, job involvement level as medium, performance rating as excellent, work-life balance as better, gender as male, marital status married, age for instance 38, and percentage salary hike say 13, and we click on predict. This app shows us that there is a 15% attrition chance for this employee. It also gives us a summary of the inputted parameters. This summary is there just in case a person accidentally changes one of the inputs and does not click predict. We as a team would like to thank our professor Matthew Lanham for giving us the opportunity to explore the various parameters of R and come up with our own project in R Shiny. Here are some of the references that we used to come up with this project. The constant among them would be W3 Schools, Stack Overflow, and the R Shiny Studio Summary Guide. Thank you so much.